Lightyear is directed by Angus MacLane and stars Chris Evans, Keke Palmer, and Peter Sohn. When spending years attempting to return home, marooned space ranger Buzz Lightyear encounters an army of ruthless robots who attempt to steal his fuel. I love the Toy Story movies. I can't help it. I grew up with them, and I can't really rank them by which one I like most, mainly because I do consider these movies to almost be animated masterpieces in a certain way. However, I do remember seeing both the animated movie and the animated TV show of the Buzz Lightyear saga. I'm pretty sure it was the late 90s and the early 2000s, and I watched reruns of it. But I do remember watching that show, and I do remember watching that movie, and I do remember watching and loving that movie. But this movie isn't the Buzz Lightyear animated show from the 90s and the 2000s. This is something completely different. A new addition to the Toy Story lore, if you will. This is the movie that apparently Andy saw in 1995, and this was the inspiration behind the Buzz Lightyear toy that he has. And how was it? Even though this was probably one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year, and definitely the most anticipated animated movie of the entire year, in my opinion. Even though this might be the worst Toy Story movie, it's still pretty good. So before I get into the positives of this movie, take a wild guess what the best thing in this movie is. I'll give you like a couple seconds, and I'm giving you this short a time because we all know what the best part about any Pixar movie is. The animation in this film is gorgeous. The lighting and the textures on all of the characters is so detailed. You can practically see the pores on Buzz Lightyear's face, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say, let alone a sentence that I meant as a compliment. And the cinematography in this film is stunning. Some of the shots in this movie are some of the best stills I've ever seen in any CG animated film. And both the quality of the animation and the quality of the cinematography mixed together to make one of the most visually beautiful animated films ever made. And the action in the film is also so cool. Because it's an animated film, they're allowed to control how quick the action is. And because most of the action in the film, I would argue, is quicker than most of the other scenes in the movie, the action sequences feel exciting and feels like it's giving you an adrenaline rush. The characters aren't half bad either. I love Socks. He's funny, cool, and I want a robot just like him. Zerg is extremely intimidating, and there's a twist in the movie surrounding his character that I legitimately didn't see coming and just added to the benefit of another character in the film. And then you have Buzz Lightyear, Chris Evans playing a Boy Scout man out of time. Never seen that before. But in all seriousness, the character of Buzz Lightyear in this movie is pretty good. He's likable, he does follow the rules a bit too much to a T, but in the same way, that adds to his charming nature. And he always takes everything at face value and always puts the entire responsibility of everyone around him, even if they're not under his command, on his shoulders. It really makes you empathize and sympathize with his plight throughout the film. Especially one moment near the end of the first act of the film where I'm pretty sure is the big selling point for anyone who goes to a Pixar movie to cry. The film does have its issues though. A lot of the humor doesn't always land, mainly the dialogue jokes that for the most part whenever they're said always get the reaction of, meh, I guess that was funny. In my head at least. There are also a couple of stupid decisions that characters in this movie make that maybe you could argue are part of the personality of those characters, but at the same time, no, they're just stupid decisions. And lastly, there are a couple story elements that I do feel like are cliched, even for a kid's movie, especially the message that I do feel has been done to death multiple times in multiple different kids movies. So yeah, this isn't the best Toy Story movie, and I wouldn't call it the near masterpiece that I would call the other films of this franchise. But at the same time, I still really enjoyed it. Not all of the humor works, and there are a couple elements in the film that either feel cliched or just downright dumb. However, the animation and the cinematography is gorgeous, the action is exciting, and the characters are all pretty likable. It's a good, fun family movie. There have been better, there have also been much worse, and this movie is further to the better spectrum. I'm going to give Lightyear an A-. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below. Have you seen Buzz Lightyear Star Command, whether it's the movie or the show? If you have, what did you think of it? Did you think that Lightyear was the better version of that movie and that show? Because in my opinion, I might like the old movie a bit more than Lightyear. Newman from Seinfeld played Zerg in that film. You can't beat that. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.